Which classic arcade game was the best-selling of all time?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think arcade is the key word. It's not like an at-home
Yeah,
entertainment.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go Donkey Kong.
Ooh, that's a really good guess, but that's not the answer. The answer
Is it Pac-Man?
It's Pac-Man. It is.
that was my second guess.
Its creator Namco sold over 400,000 cabinets, and they raked in more than 3.5 billion after its 1980 release. So big,
That's successful.
iconic, yeah.
That's much more successful than this podcast.
Yeah, we are not raking in
We
$3 billion dollars.
We don't even have one cabinet.
No. No. Well, yeah. Did you do today's Wordle or not Wordle? I guess yeah. You know what? Let's talk about Wordle. I meant to say Worldle, but
I didn't do Wordle because it annoys me.
yeah, Worldle does.
Yeah, because like, the way that it is like tells you you're wrong is like it hurts my brain to have to comprehend.
Yeah.
Like, I know where things are relative to each other, but like the miles is not a helpful metric.
The miles is definitely not helpful. The arrow is the most helpful, to be honest.
Yeah, the arrows is helpful, but it's just not that fun.
I am still. I don't know why my thing is so shaky today, but I'm still having a pretty good time with it. Today's felt
Worldle
like an accomplishment. The others are very tough. There was like Zambia, and there was one in South America that like I got.
Oh, I do that one. The Guyana.
Yep. It's
I actually did get that one in like 3, I think.
well, that's great. Yeah, I got today's in 3, and I felt really proud of myself because
yeah, we won't subject everyone for me doing it on
the
podcast
we didn't
again.
get any feedback on last week's episode.
Maybe I'll have to start back up.
Yeah.
with Wordle, but not privately.
Yeah. See, Wordle, people are getting
Wordle.
pretty upset about this game. In
Yeah.
regards to just like how tricky some of the words are. Now, I'll say this: I still have yet to lose.
Yeah.
Since it got bought, so I feel okay.
Yeah. Okay. I did do Wordle like right before I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And I've been on like a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is not going to come out same day, so I can show you the word.
Today was
Wait.
it was
Look at that.
tacit. Yeah.
I got it in 3. It doesn't make any sense.
That
Why did I do tacit?
Wait, what? How did you?
I don't know why that's what I came up
Bleak,
with.
clamp,
it looks like
tacit.
It's break, clamp, and tacit. And all I had to go on for tacit was that there's a C and an A
Dude,
somewhere in it.
Are you serious?
doesn't-
What the
Yeah, I don't know.
hell?
I do not know why. I've also never even used the word tacit in
Yeah.
a sentence in my life, and I do not know why that's what I thought
Yeah.
of. Like, it looks like I cheated based
It
on
does
that.
look like you cheated.
I
I'm
did not
gonna
cheat.
lie. Wow. That's good. Yeah, that's impressive.
My thought process, the only thing was that like they've been on a streak of double lettering it.
They
Where
have been.
like the last few, they've had like 2 of this like
Yeah.
one letter twice in the word. So I'm
Which-
like, maybe they're doing that again.
Those are I like those ones to be honest. It's kind of like a nice little trick. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe they use the D again and it's dodge.
Well,
and then
frankly, Wordle is pretty easy. I don't
It
think I've ever
is.
lost.
I lost one day, and it was when it was frame, I think, and I did flame, and no. Yeah, it came down to that, and I went with flame instead of frame, and that's what did it for me.
Yeah. The thing also is that if you look at like actual Wordle strategies, people are like, start with a do.
Yeah,
That's not fun. I just pick a
No.
random word every time.
I
And
love-
then the other
yeah.
thing is people are like, okay, when you have like 3 letters, just pick a bunch of other letters to eliminate them. Don't
Yep.
just like, and then you'll get it in 6 because you'll eliminate every single letter in the
Yeah.
alphabet. And it's like,
that's not
fun.
no.
It's funnier if you like have 4 of the letters after 2 guesses and then still get it wrong because you guessed a 4 different combinations
Yeah.
of those 4 letters and none of them were right.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
also, in defense of Wordle, a lot of people are like pissed since the New York Times bought it that like it's gotten harder or something. And I'm like, first of all, I thought I read somewhere that I think the original guy is still in charge. They just put it
Yeah.
on New York
I
Times.
thought that the word list hasn't changed.
Yeah, no. And I'm also like, it's fun if they're difficult and not just like everyday words.
I agree, and also I kind of reject the premise that it's difficult.
It's not that well, it's not difficult. I can't say it's difficult because I've also not lost, but I do think besides frame once again. But
Yeah.
I'm like, the words aren't everyday words. I'm like, I think they're fun. I think they're fun words. Anyways, that's our Wordle.
That was a good segment.
We got to talk about Wordle.
That's like almost a news segment. Wait, what? Okay, what should I type in for news today?
Wait, what did we said like hot big news last time or something?
Or like, wait, what if I do like hot
entertainment
news?
Yeah. Hot
And
entertainment.
For anyone who doesn't know, my keyboard is a mechanical keyboard with blue switches, which is why it's the loudest keyboard imaginable.
I like it. I like getting to hear the sounds, to be honest.
So I actually like using it, even though it seems like it would get annoying.
Uh-huh.
The thing I like how it feels like a typewriter because it's very like tactile and clicky.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which actually, if you look at blue switches, I think those are the two words that they use to describe it.
I want a clicky keyboard. I just have this.
Blue. Okay, so mechanical keyboard,
Logitech.
blue switches is the most. Like it doesn't matter the company. Blue switches is like the clicky switches, so you can try that out. And then like red is like the smoother ones. I think brown is in the middle.
Okay. Interesting.
So if you want really clicky, now just remember if you're ever doing it while recording, you're gonna hear it tremendously because it is loud as shit.
Yeah.
Do we curse on this podcast? I forgot.
We do.
Okay, cool.
3 almost. Actually, we're coming up on, what is it? Is this 3 years, 4 years of doing this podcast?
Yeah, it's
2019. It's 2022. This is we're coming up on the 3rd year.
Wow.
Like on the
That's
dot,
crazy.
we're like really close. I didn't even realize that.
Did we start in March?
Yeah. Man, we used to do like yearly anniversary specials for that, and now we don't even know when it happened. But I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
What
So
news
hot
are we
entertainment
finding?
news.
Yeah.
This says Penn Badgley shares hot take about the Beatles' name, and we can never unsee it. So here's the issue. I just realized. Is that if you type hot entertainment news, you just get a bunch of E-Online articles. So I'm gonna get the word entertainment out of that and just do hot news.
Big hot news.
Big
hot news.
And I have 2 spaces after hot between news.
Yeah. What do we get?
This is The Independent. Ukraine-Russia news live. Boris Johnson warns of biggest war in Europe since 1945 as Putin tests missiles.
See, that's actual news. That's like
that's not.
We were hoping for that Sally Sub Shop review.
Okay, here we go. This is the Bury Times. It's Johnson and DeChambeau become latest big names to commit future to PGA Tour. So this is golf news.
Yeah.
Now, Bryson DeChambeau is a very interesting golfer. He's a guy who kind of is like the conspiracy theorist of golf.
Yeah.
But the stuff he does actually works usually, but some of the stuff is weird. Like he floats all of his golf balls in Epsom salts to see if they float a certain way before he'll use them on tour. He also wears a stupid hat.
Okay.
And then also he used to be kind of thin, and then they did all this scientific evidence that like being super jacked, like super jacked in a way that's kind of weird looking, makes you way better at golf. So he just like transformed his body and gained like 40 pounds of muscle, and his neck is like huge now, and he drives the ball like 350 yards, and he became like one of the best players. And also all of his golf clubs are the exact same length.
Oh my God. What? Wait, that doesn't, because for the all the same length thing is getting me.
So here's what it is. The only difference is the loft. But the theory, because the loft, so it's like your pitching wedge is very lofted, so you hit the ball and it shoots up in the air high.
Yeah.
So the ball goes high, so it doesn't go as far.
Yeah.
Now, generally, that is the case with normal golf clubs. But the difference also is that they're different lengths. So
Right.
your like driver is longer than your you know irons and stuff.
And the putter is the tiny one.
The putter's the tiny
Yeah.
one. Now, this guy, he thought, and this is some other people thought this too, where it's like, what if all my clubs are the same length? Now, this means that you do the exact same swing regardless of the golf club. So it's like more repeatable.
Just
So he does that.
a full swing on the green.
Yeah. Not with the putter.
I'm curious because does he meet somewhere in the middle, or does he have a really long putter or a really tiny driver?
Okay, so the putter is not part of this.
Okay, I was gonna say because that's the only thing that really stumped me. I was like, how?
No,
what does he go?
it's just the wedges and the irons and like the woods and stuff.
Gotcha.
And I think his
gotcha.
driver is long.
is a long-
as well, 'cause
okay.
that would you wouldn't want to you reduce your power tremendously.
Yeah.
So that would defeat the point of him getting super jacked.
Yeah. What part of golfing are you best at, Jeff? Putting, chipping,
Driving the golf cart.
driving. Nice.
No,
That's
I am
acquired
terrible
skill.
at So like relative to normal people,
Yeah.
I'm good at driving it because I'm 30 years old and tall.
Yeah.
So if I really try to hit it hard, I can drive it
Mm-hmm.
like almost 300 yards.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty bad at like all parts of golf.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really bad at putting.
We should go golfing together sometime.
Yeah, we need to.
I would love to.
Yeah, what do you normally shoot?
Like as a whole round or just a whole?
Yeah, like a whole round. Whole
I
18.
have not kept track since I was in like middle school. I did recently play a lot of golf with my dad in California, and just casually. We weren't keeping score, but I did okay. I got like 3 pars out of our entire week, which was crazy. Getting a par
Yeah.
is a lot harder in real life than it is in Mario Golf. So
Yeah.
I was proud.
I've only played about 2 rounds of golf in the last year.
Okay.
But when I was playing a lot, maybe 7 years ago, I would shoot like mid 90s, which was not good,
Yeah.
but it's like in between getting bogey and double bogey on every hole.
See-
so it's like I would get some par, some bogey, some double bogey, some triple bogey.
That is about my skill level. Because I was I was getting mostly double bogeys and bogeys with the occasional par on like a par 4.
Yeah, so it's like better than average because the average person is terrible at golf,
Yeah.
and I am merely bad at golf.
Yeah. I'm okay at golf. My dad is a like huge golfer, so he's like really wants me to get into golf, but it's just too frustrating. I get too frustrated too fast.
Yeah, I do too.
It's not a calm sport.
What's your dad's name supposed to be again? Like the fake name?
Christopher Allen.
Christopher Allen.
I don't know why we went with that. I was about to say my dad's real name, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
Yeah, I thought that some person just said that was your dad's name.
Someone, I think they I forget where it originated from, but it became a huge thing on the subreddit to a point where it got very uncomfortable, and I'm glad it died down because I hated that bit a lot. But yeah, that's my dad.
And that's the news.
and that's the
I really had a lot to say about the golf.
We got into
news.
golf, yeah.
Yeah, what if I type in last thing? Karsten Runquist.
Dad.
News.
Try and find my. Let's not do that now.
This is
there anything?
This is just all
me?
YouTube links.
Karsten Runquist news. I mean, I sometimes get posted on One Perfect Shot and No Film School or whatever it's called.
No, there's just the first thing that comes up is from October 30th of 2017.
What is it?
It's from the Michigan Daily.
Oh, what's
The swift and plaguing rise of YouTube film critique.
Wait,
That doesn't sound positive.
I found it. Yeah, they mentioned me briefly, along with other popular channels, Cinefix, Nerdwriter, Closer Look, and Karsten Runquist. Every Frame of Painting is a major player in a booming market for video essays.
and then the next sentence is kind of
that market,
mean.
however, is very one-dimensional. A man, presumably in his mid-20s, talks about why a director, often David Fincher, is just so goddamn great after pointing out a somewhat obvious filmmaking technique, which is not wrong. I feel like
It-
it's most video essays on YouTube.
That okay, it's true, but I would like to postulate just for a moment that the techniques are not that obvious.
No, they're not.
Unless you're like a huge film nerd, you're not going to notice them. I went to film school and I don't even notice them until you point them out. And I'm like, oh yeah, they are doing that. Because I just like watch movies.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, ooh, look at this. Ooh, this is a Dutch angle.
Also, in defense of all the other channels that it lists, first of all, Every Frame of Painting is like the most influential video essays. Like he's the reason everyone else is doing what they're doing. Nerdwriter does more than just that. He does like paintings and shit now. And the rest.
And you also cook food to talk about the movie.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I cook a mediocre meal. So yeah, I'm just like, that was a trend though. I feel like video essays were like a ginormous trend when I first got into them, and that's I think why I got successful at them, because I caught the wave at the perfect time and was able to. But then like the video essay landscape got oversaturated, and I don't think people watch them a lot anymore. But
yeah, well, I think that people do watch them. And my evidence for that is that my own YouTube channel, my second most popular upload
is your video
is
essay.
my only video essay on how the blocking in Toy Story scares Sid.
Which is such a good video. It's such a good video. I'm like, that is my favorite video of yours. Which, by the way, this is a good segue into you posted your 1,000 subscriber special.
Yeah, I did it. I filmed the thing with my mom almost a year ago, and then I like didn't do anything on YouTube for about 11 months.
Yep.
And then I finally came back, and I'm coming back. I have a big time video in the works, Karsten.
Are you really? That's
Oh yeah,
super
I've spent
exciting.
a tremendous amount of time on it.
Can I know the topic, or do you not want to spoil it on the podcast?
Oh, I'll tell you when we're done. It's gonna be big. I'll tell you after.
It's a takedown of my channel. It's like
Yeah,
everything wrong with
it's
Karsten Rundquist.
why Karsten Rundquist is a huge fraud, and it's actually 4 hours long.
It's gonna get millions of views. Yeah,
I bought this new computer just to make this video.
export this video because it's too much. Nice. Well, I think that sounds like a nightmare. And speaking of nightmares, let's talk about today's movie, Nightmare.
Wait, my video sounds like a nightmare?
No, well, my the idea of me getting a takedown video by one of my closest friends, Jeff, sounds like a nightmare. But today's movie is Nightmare Alley, directed by Guillermo.
Wait, it is? No, just kidding. I knew. I watched
I was
it.
like, oh my god. It is directed.
I'm like, I thought we were doing Fievel Goes West.
Yeah. It's like there has been a huge miscommunication.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Do the synopsis.
Nightmare Alley, directed by Guillermo del Toro. It's a new 2020. Is this 2022? Technically, it's 2021, I guess. But it's really getting a proper release right now. And Best Picture nominated for a bunch of other things. And the synopsis reads: in 1940s New York, down on his luck, Stanton Carlyle, I'm just going to call him Stan, endears himself to a clairvoyant and her mentalist husband at a traveling carnival. Using newly acquired knowledge, Carlyle crafts a golden ticket to success by swindling the elite and wealthy. Hoping for a big score, he soon hatches a scheme to con a dangerous tycoon with help from a mysterious psychiatrist who might be his most formidable opponent yet.
It's
How'd I do?
It's a big synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing I read that synopsis before watching the film, and the thing I did not like was the whole golden ticket thing. That was very confusing.
Yeah. I in the synopsis you're saying? Because it's not really a thing in the movie.
No, it's not. It's not exactly. That's why I was confused. I'm like, what does
where's
this
the
golden?
golden
Like,
ticket
why do they
show
phrase
up?
it like that?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory situation.
See, it is interesting that this is my last Best Picture nominee to watch. I've seen them all, and I really held off on this one because it was getting really like lukewarm, mediocre reviews. The The
And
synopsis
B
did not make a lot of sense.
B is the synopsis.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna guess C. It's really really long.
It is really long. Yeah. I was like, this is a really long movie where I'm not entirely sure what it's about going into it.
Yeah.
But I personally, and we might disagree, I was pleasantly surprised. I
was
kind of
too.
liked this movie when I really expected to be bored because I was like, the synopsis, I'm like, this sounds kind of like just like a really giant character film. And I was like, I don't know if I have the attention for this, but it is a character-driven movie, which I guess all movies are. But I was like, this was entertaining. I was really entertained.
Yeah. No, I also, before we get into it, just to get the Oscar talk out of the way.
Yeah.
It has 4 nominations: Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design. Do you think it has a shot at any of those?
That's a good question. I think it has its best chance at Best Costume,
Or production design?
maybe production design, but I know it's up against Dune in both those categories, and I have a feeling Dune is gonna take it in both.
Yeah, it seems like it, but yeah, because production design, it does seem like the Academy. I'm not a huge Academy person, but it seems like they do like period pieces, and especially like weird specific things like this carnival thing. Because it's something easy to point to and be like, old carnival.
You know what? You're so right. Yeah. Maybe not costume, but production design. I think this might have it in the bag. And I also haven't kept up on a lot of Oscar odds and whatnot. We will next week with our guests, but I'll save that for the end. I think it has a chance at production design. It definitely doesn't have cinematography, even though I thought the cinematography looked really nice. I think that's also, they're saying Dune has that one locked in just because it's a massive movie. And then Best Picture, it is close to the bottom of the list from what I understand as far as like chances of winning.
I mean, would you say it's above Don't Look Up?
No, Don't Look Up I thought was at the bottom, but the more I've looked at it, I'm like, it has it's like kind of dead in the center. It's like King Richard level odds.
That's not funny because I wanted you to say that Don't Look Up was at the bottom, because then it would be like Don't Look Up because that's where all the other nominees are.
I'm sorry. Now I should have said that. I was not there with the bit. No, yeah.
Wait, do they ever release the way that the nominees were voted on so you can tell what place things were in?
No,
or do they not do
that? I wish they did. Yeah, so you could see the actual. Because I am curious, especially like the La La Land Moonlight year. I'm like, I wonder how what, because those were both like matched up until the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no idea. I think Best Picture is still going to be Power of the Dog from what I'm predicting.
The La La Land Moonlight thing, they probably had it written. I think it was a big conspiracy where it was actually written La La Land for 2 minutes and then Moonlight.
That's yeah.
It was written on the car. That's why it was confusing.
That's crazy. That whole thing is a different. Different.
I remember watching that still.
Me too.
That was like the only time I ever watched it with other people while drinking. I've never, because I don't normally watch it.
Yeah.
And I just remember how confusing that was.
I remember a lot of screaming and laughing where I was. I was in the dorms at DePaul, and we all watched it in one of those like lobby rooms or whatever, and everyone just started freaking out. Like people were running around and like flipping over tables. And this is before I like really cared about the Oscars, but I was like, that is insane that just happened.
Yeah, that was your origin story. Yeah. That's why you started.
I was like, I should tune in more often, I guess.
You're like, I should make movies my entire life.
I should start a YouTube channel, and then I did like a month later. Yeah, that's anyways. This is like a big Oscar movie though. I feel like it was kind of like made with the chances of getting a lot of nominations, and it kind of underperformed, both like critically, people are not crazy about this movie, and yeah, there's not a ton of enthusiasm for it, but I had a good time. It is long. I mean, how did you feel about the length, Jeff? Do you think this is too long, or?
I mean, once I got into it, it didn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
Because there's some movies where you really, really feel the length. And this, at least, I would say about 45 minutes in, I'm like, how is there still an hour and 45 left of this? But then, like, after another 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Especially, because, spoiler alert, this isn't really a spoiler, but, like, I would say the first hour, almost on the dot, is at this carnival. And then after that, it kind of all takes place outside of the carnival. And you feel like you're in the carnival for a while. And when you're out, you're like, damn, I have a whole 90 minutes left. But
yeah, it's like a whole movie left, which is kind of like, I don't know. It seemed like the structure of this was like the first act was really, really long.
Yep.
It's like there's so much setup in this movie.
Yeah. For a pretty like simple story, you could honestly summarize this in like a few sentences. What happens?
Yeah.
It's just like,
I mean, honestly, you could summarize this in like a children's book.
yeah.
I mean, you probably
I don't know
would,
if this
would
is a
leave out some stuff in the children's version of it.
Yeah. But no, I agree. I thought it was really well paced, and I don't know. I think Guillermo del Toro is just a really entertaining director. I'm like, usually it takes me a little bit to like sit down and watch his movies, but when I do, I'm like always fully invested because he's just so good at writing interesting characters and also building out the world. I mean, this is like the amount of like practical effects is just so nice to see, especially in like the carnival setting.
Yeah.
It was just like, it looked cool. Did you see Shape of Water, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Okay. See, that's, yeah.
But you say to the audience what you would say to me if I did see it.
I was just going to say I don't even know where I was going with it. I think it's funny that movie where this woman falls in love with a fish and they have sex in the movie, how that won Best Picture at the Oscars a few years ago. It just seems like a wild thing that happened. And yeah, that's another big reason why I don't think this has any chances, because he already won the award. So I'm like, that's probably not.
Yeah. Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should rename Best Picture to Best Movie?
Yeah, obviously. just plain and simple, best movie. Yeah, it keeps it really simple.
I mean, it makes it less confusing.
Yeah,
because a picture,
best picture.
Usually, in every other scenario in my life, I think of picture as one frame.
Yeah, they don't even say best motion picture. It's just best picture. I'm actually going to Google this right now. Why is it called? That's why it confuses me at the Grammys when they're like best record and then best song and best. I'm like, what is a record not an album or a song?
The best record is actually most marshmallows eaten in 1 minute.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to Google
that's
that.
That's the best one. Why do they call it best picture and not best movie? Motion pictures.
25 by Anthony Falzone from Malta.
Wow.
That's most marshmallows eaten in one
Malta?
in 1 minute.
Damn.
And those are the big marshmallows. Those aren't the little ones. Wait, now, okay, people also ask, what is the world record for most marshmallows eaten in 1 minute without hands? 20.
20. Wow. Interesting.
By Leah Shutkiver from the UK. Congratulations, Leah.
Yeah. I was looking at this answer about best picture, and it's literally like the most underwhelming answer. They're just like, yeah, it's short for moving picture. And it sounded better than movie, because movie is technically a nickname or the abbreviated version of moving picture, because it's a movie. Yeah. Anyways.
Shouldn't it be a movic?
No. Doesn't roll off the tongue. I did not know this.
I feel like we could come with a better nickname than a movie.
They said trivia. The first major Hollywood release recorded entirely digitally was David Fincher's Zodiac in 2007, which feels so recent. I'm like, wow, that's the first one.
Wait, is movie supposed to be pronounced movie?
Moving picture.
Whoa.
Moving picture?
I was thinking motion.
Oh. No. I guess motion picture is also a... Anyways, what
if I just started calling it a movie and we never addressed it ever again?
What'd you think of this movie?
I'm like, this movie, 4 stars.
The Simpsons movie. Yeah. What else about this movie? I liked the performances a lot. That's another thing. I'm like, everyone was so perfectly casted. I'm just realizing like Bradley Cooper's I'm a big fan of his, is basically what I'm saying. I'm like, he's super entertaining. He is so consistent. Yeah, he's great. And then Cate Blanchett was also really great in the movie, Rooney Mara. And then Willem Dafoe. I'm just like, nothing but good performances here.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to think of like, it definitely doesn't like hit it out of the park all the way for me. I'm like, it's not the greatest thing ever. It's not at the top of my list. And I think it's because by the end of it, without spoiling it, I just felt kind of like whatever about it. It was like a really cool story, and then I was just like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I also did not like the ending.
No?
I just thought it was like trying to put this like nice bow on it in a very specific way.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it just felt unnecessary. It felt like so inorganic to the rest of the film.
It felt super like inevitable and kind of predictable. I was like,
yeah.
I honestly, like maybe 20 minutes before it ended, I like put it together. I was like, oh, yeah. I think I know how this is going to end. And it kind of like just delivers it to you on a silver platter, like in a really cheesy way.
Is.
Yeah.
I know. That's the thing. I wish it was like more of a metaphor instead of a literal interpretation of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It does kind of ruin the ending, doesn't it? Because I was like, oh, that's kind of corny. But,
yeah.
I mean, you know.
But, I mean, you know, you have a lot of other parts of the film to talk about because it's 2.5 hours long. Yeah. You don't need to focus on that last 5 minutes.
I do like how much of it feels like kind of a build-up. And then, like, it's just a rise and fall. And the rise feels super intense. But then the fall it just kind of, like, tops that, which is nice to see. It was like, especially never mind. Just heard a siren outside my.
I heard something.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I was like, I don't know. I felt what the movie wanted me to feel, so I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a interesting, conceptual premise of like the profession in this film, because it's a way to make just doing, you know, his job very intense every time. Yeah. Because there's always this like hidden aspect that you're like, oh, I hope they don't get found out.
Yeah. I'm like, it is kind of a tough thing to make a movie about, or like a tough story to put on film, because it's like such a like head thing. And it could be super unexciting, but somehow I was like really entertained by it. Like the stakes felt so high by the end of it. I was like,
that was the classic film terminology I was about to throw out too. I was gonna be like, wow, the stakes.
The stakes, they were big. Yeah. When's the last time you saw like a good carnival movie, Jeff? Like
a good carnival.
Because I feel
movie.
like I usually just find myself really underwhelmed by anything that takes place at a carnival, and I was like, this was good. This was crazy.
I mean, usually like the Scooby-Doo episodes that took place on a carnival were pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like an abandoned carnival, because like, you know, there would be some guy who was trying to buy land somewhere, and he would wear like a gorilla costume and scare everyone off.
And they'd be like,
so those were
who
always
is
good.
it? And rip off the head.
Yeah. And then they'd be like caretaker Jenkins.
I wouldn't have gotten, or I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those meddling kids.
What?
I could see you being called a meddling kid.
I feel like I was not a meddling kid. The only meddling I was doing was in swimming. Yeah. By the way, I went down a rabbit hole the other day and just looked up a bunch of shit about Mark Spitz. And dude, they didn't used to wear goggles in the Olympics. It's kind of hilarious. There was like all this footage of him just diving in, and they had like no like stroke. They just kind of fling their arms as fast as possible without goggles on. And that's
probably why you had better.
I know. I was like,
Mark
it's
Spitz.
really not that impressive.
Mark Spitz had to stop halfway through the swim to like be like, oh, my
His eyes were
the
bleeding
chlorine.
from the chlorine. Yeah, and he's just flailing his arms. Yeah.
Was he drowning?
He could have been drowning. Yeah, he could have. Yeah. Anyways, that's the thing about this movie is I feel like it doesn't offer as much as it should for its runtime, despite being like really fun and, like I've been saying, just entertaining. It's a good time and it's a well-made movie. I'm just like, I feel like it could have done some more with Bradley Cooper's character.
Yeah, it also just like the carnival is a very specific place, but then once they got out of the carnival, the entire film was like still an hour 45 long or hour and a half long, and it took place in like 4 different locations total.
Yeah,
like it was such like a, you know, 2 people talking driven movie.
Yeah. It was either in the hotel room or in the office or at the carnival. You know.
Yeah. So like as a period piece, like some of this, like the production design was great. I thought, like some of those like kind of Art Deco.
Yeah.
Stylings was like, you know, especially the like psychiatry office.
That office was super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I don't know. As part of the movie just didn't feel like as big as I felt like it should have felt. If that makes sense.
Totally true. Yeah. I know you haven't seen it, but this is like the complete opposite of House of Gucci, which is also a really long movie, but everything about it in like the production design and the presentation feels really rushed and like super sloppy and cheap. And it kind of like, it's like interesting because the character like Jared Leto and Al Pacino are like hilarious in that movie, but I'm like, I can't take this seriously. Whereas this was like, I felt so much for the characters and the performances, and it was all super like, you could tell a lot of time went into like every single scene and setting, but I feel like they put all their eggs in those baskets and couldn't do more with it. But I'm like, all things considered, they still managed to do so much with so little, which is cool.
Now, in terms of period pieces we've watched on the Karstcast, we have this. We have that one that Brendan Fraser was in.
The Mummy? No,
With
No
Don
Time
Cheadle?
to Die.
Is
it not No Time to Die? That's James Bond. This was No Sudden Move.
Yeah, no sudden move. There we go.
No Time to Die. No, yeah. I kept thinking about No Sudden Move during this, to be honest, just because he looked similar.
Which of these did you enjoy more?
This one, definitely this
Me
one.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then for me, I've also seen another film that this reminded me of, which is Motherless Brooklyn.
Yeah, which I haven't seen.
It's much better than that.
Okay.
That's not that good. That's a weird movie.
Yeah. We also have not acknowledged that this is based on I think 1940 something film under the same name.
I didn't acknowledge that because I did not.
You did not know. Yeah, I've never seen it. I kind of want to check it out after this because a lot of people are drawing comparisons, and I'm also. I'm like, it's interesting that this is a period piece, but I think that at the time was like more of its
contemporary
time. Yeah.
So you're of course referring to Casablanca.
Yeah, the one old movie. Yeah. But no, I do want to check that out.
Wait, what's it called though?
Nightmare
Is it the
Alley.
same
Yeah,
name?
it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, and also something cool that they're doing with this one is in certain theaters. They're doing this at Music Box. Is they're showing this in 35 millimeter in black and white, which I'm like, I kept thinking about that during the movie. I was like, this would be cool in black and white, I think. I don't think I have it in me to sit through it again in a theater, but I was like, that's cool.
See, I don't know if I really want to watch a black and white film that's 2.5 hours long.
Really? Okay.
I just black and white feels like it should be like a solid like 90 minutes, and then you go back to living in color.
That's fair. We disagree in that respect, but I understand. Yeah.
So like the longer the film is, you want less color.
Yeah. I want like there is I forget what the name of it. There's like a 7-hour black and white movie out there that had like a limited screening. I think it's
And that was your favorite.
and
movie.
that's one of the best movies. Yeah. I have not seen it.
Yeah.
But
So do you wish Avengers Endgame was black and white?
no. I yeah. What was I gonna say?
Has anyone ever done a black and white like cartoon?
Yeah, like the
Seems
original.
kind of pointless.
The original.
No, I mean but I mean,
Oh, now
for artistic reasons, obviously before they had
I
the ability to do
I'm
color.
trying to think. There was I think it's Frankenweenie. Let me get this
okay.
straight. I think that's a black and white stop motion film. Yeah, from 2012, directed by Tim Burton. And I saw that in theaters, and I was like, I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool. There's definitely some others though that I'm forgetting about, but
Are you committing right now to having Long Toast 2 be
in black and white? Long Toast 2 is going to be in black and white, and it's going to be 2 hours and 40 minutes long. That's one long toast.
I mean, that'd be great for the YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah.
You just have commercials every like 5 minutes.
Rake in the ad revenue. Yeah. Well, I think we've kind of talked about this movie as much as we can.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
It's solid. I don't think it's my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie. And I haven't seen a lot of like his greats, according to a lot of people. Like I haven't seen Crimson Peak, I think it's called, or Pan's Labyrinth. I like skipped around. I still haven't like really watched that movie. But this makes me want to check them out because he is really good at what he does.
Yeah, I've actually never seen a Guillermo del Toro.
I was going to say, is this your first one?
Yeah.
And you liked it, which is solid. I would be down to watch The Shape of Water for this podcast because I feel like we would have a lot to say about it. But that is going to do on Nightmare Alley. What are you feeling for a score, Jeff?
3.5.
Nice. I think I'm leaning 4, but I'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's fair.
What about time of day? I will say I watched this today, like earlier today at like noon.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, I wished I watched this at night. This is a good night movie.
Except not too late because you might fall asleep because it's really
You
long.
might fall asleep, yeah.
So maybe like
8?
9:30.
9:30? Yeah.
Yeah, ends right at midnight.
And yeah,
Going to sleep.
have some nightmares with Nightmare
Some Nightmare Alley. You know what? I'm really glad that alley is referring to like a street and not like a person named
Nightmare Alley. We should make a movie called Nightmare Alley, and we're like, it's not the same. This is a person.
It's completely
Yeah.
different.
I do have to come up with a dish for this movie.
Like Bradley Cooper's character is named Allie.
Nightmare Alley. Nightmare Allen. Nightmare Owl. Yeah. That's a bad bit. But yeah, I'm doing
Nightmare Al, and his last name starts with E.
yeah.
It's like his name's Al Easton.
Nightmare Al E.
It's Nightmare Al E.
This
This is the worst.
yeah, this is
podcast in the
terrible.
world.
Yeah, I'm doing a Best Picture knife out where I make a meal for every Best Picture nominee. So now I have to start thinking about what to do for this one. It's also a lot of work. I'm realizing that's a lot of.
That's what came to my head. You're like, wait, you have to make how many?
Every time I
dishes
tell
here?
this to a friend, they're like, "You're gonna do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." For
There's
it.
no way you're gonna like even if it's sponsored, there's no way you're gonna recoup the amount of money you're gonna be spending on
I
ingredients.
know that's the thing.
You're gonna be taking a big hit on this.
I'm gonna
video.
keep. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple for some of the movies. Like, I'm not gonna spoil King Richard, but I'm not going all out for that dish.
Yeah, you're just gonna put some tennis balls in the oven. Just gonna stuff them with like some like salad dressing.
This is the King Richard. It's just a tennis ball with mayo. Uh, all right.
It's like you make an amazing meal for the first one. They just progressively lazier.
Licorice pizza. I ordered a pizza, and put licorice on it.
You're like, don't look up. The camera's pointed up, so you can't see the meal, but definitely it's there.
Don't Look Up though is gonna be laziest because I already did a video for that, and I'm like, you've already seen it. I'm not gonna do it again. Anyways, that's Nightmare Alley. It's available on HBO Max, but it's also in theaters. If you,
It is?
yeah, it's
I forgot movie theaters existed.
no, they're out there. They're they're doing it. Next, we want to do some questions over at r/Carscast. If you want to get in on the fun, ask us a question that we will probably answer. One second. Never mind. Head on over to the Carscast, r/Carscast, and we also have a Patreon question, which is why I paused there for a second because I just checked the Patreon and we do have one from there. And this first one comes from Nathan Worley, and it's thoughts on Columbia College Chicago. I'm a senior going into film and just wanted to know if there was anything I should know going in. Now,
So,
let's talk about Columbia.
yeah, you go first.
I don't have a ton of opinions on Columbia. I know it's like kind of, to some DePaul kids, they're like, it's our rival because it's like they also have a film school there. And
Yeah, it's like the comparable film school
the
in
downtown
Chicago.
campuses are like right next to each other.
Yeah.
I know a lot of student sets like share crew.
Yeah.
But I have no opinion on it. I do like DePaul better, but I didn't go to Columbia, so I don't know what it is like there. But
The only thing is, like, I've, on sets and stuff, met people from Columbia. I mean, it's a definitely, for sure, a good enough school where if you, put yourself out there and you'll get out of it what you put into it.
yeah,
So there's nothing about that school that's going to stop you from like accomplishing
totally
what you're trying to accomplish there.
that.
Because there's some schools where, frankly, they would be a waste of time because they just don't have the program or like the equipment or anything to like, let you do stuff. But Columbia, that's not the case. It's like same with DePaul, where they are good enough schools and give you enough resources to where you can do what you want to do.
That's the case with like any film school. Yeah, is like you kind of get out of it what you put in, and the thing about like just going to school anywhere in Chicago and pursuing film is like you're gonna, if you are really passionate about it, like you'll do great, and it's just exciting that you're, going to film school regardless in Chicago because there's tons of resources. There's always stuff going on.
Yeah, there's Karsten Rundquist is there.
Yeah,
You might bump into Karsten at the music box.
At the screenings for, I don't know, the 7-hour screenings.
You might see Karsten staying after the screening to try to talk to Sean Baker and ask him to be on the Karstcast, and then he says,
say no.
No.
Yep.
He says, "Aren't you that guy from Letterboxd?"
That gave me that's a good idea. You reminded me about Sean Baker and his movie Red Rocket's now on digital, and I think we should maybe watch it.
Yeah, because the actual press tour is also over.
Yep.
I would imagine, so we can also ask
Get
Sean
him to be on it.
on the.
He's like, "Oh,
podcast.
I'm finally done with press," and we're like, "Hey, Sean, one last
He's like,
request."
"I'm working on a new movie."
Yeah. Anyways, that answers that question. This next one comes from the subreddit, and it's from Black Panther Dies, and it's, what are your favorite board games? Do you like Settlers of Catan? I love Settlers of Catan. It's probably my favorite board game. It's the
Yeah.
best. I love it.
So my brother and sister are both obsessed with Catan.
Really?
And I never played it. And for Christmas, we spent it at my sister's place
Yeah.
in L.A. And we played Catan 6 times. And I won 4 of them.
Wow. See,
Yeah. And it was like a full roster of people playing.
that's awesome. That sounds like such a
Yeah.
fun time.
So
I
guess I'm good at
Yeah.
it, even though I had never played it.
I played recently with our friend Joe Cronin. You know Joe.
See, the thing, and I do know Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin is someone who kind of plays dumb. Joe Cronin is like sneaky smart.
He's one of the smartest people I know.
That's
he's
the thing. Joe
extremely
Cronin is so
intelligent.
smart that Joe Cronin is very fine, kind of pretending to not be the smartest person in
Yeah.
the room, even though Joe Cronin usually is the smartest person
Yep.
in the room. So I feel like Joe Cronin would be very good at Catan.
Joe, this is the last thing I'll say about Joe, behind his back. Which, by the way, I'm like, I want to get Joe on the podcast
We should
because
get Joe on
he
the podcast.
has like the best vocabulary of anyone I know. He can say
Yeah.
anything and make it hilarious, and he's also just so like smart about movies. Like he's seen so many, specifically like Japanese film. He's so in touch with like classic Japanese movies, and he's just so fun to talk to when it comes to movies. But anyways, I played Catan with him, and this was his first time, and he had gotten the 10 victory points necessary to win, and he didn't say something until like half an hour later. And I was like, Joe, you have 10 points. And he's like, oh, shit. And then, yeah. So he's really good at the game, but he didn't know how to play
Yeah.
the game.
What's the ruling on that? If you don't declare victory, did you win?
I know. I'm like, what if I got it after the fact? And then, yeah.
Because that'd be the ultimate, like, in-your-face move,
Right.
where it's like you're starting to flip over your thing, saying "I won." They just go real fast and flip
Yeah,
over your
yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah. If anyone here, if you know about Catan and you've never played it because it looks intimidating or like not a lot of fun, you got to give it a chance. Just look at Jeff.
yeah, because again,
Really fun.
I didn't know. I knew very little about it. I think I maybe played it once ever in my
Yeah.
life before this, playing it 6 times, and I won 4 times.
Super fun. Yeah. What other board games are you into, Jeff? Can I just say my memory with you with board games, this was technically a card game, but I came home one night and you were in our living room with like a bunch of other people playing Uno, and
Yeah.
you guys played for how long was it?
Oh, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, the game like never ended because whatever rule set we were using made it so that whenever somebody got close to winning, they would like never actually be able to win.
Yeah. It was like 2 a.m. and I was trying to go to bed, and I just like went to the bathroom
Yeah.
and looked over, and you're like sitting on the floor, and nobody looks like they're having fun. Like,
No, we all just wanted the game to end.
but no one wanted to lose. So
Right, because at the point you invested so much effort that like we wanted to end someone to win, but we didn't want to like let someone win.
yeah.
Yeah, I will say that when I worked at Cinespace at DePaul during the summer, we had this day where like we had nothing going on, so we played Uno for like 2 hours straight, and I won every game. It was with 5 people, and I won 5 games of Uno in a row,
That's impressive.
which is so, because Uno is like 50% luck,
Yeah.
and that is so unlikely to do that.
Yeah.
because it's like you say a 20% chance of winning. Like if I do the math on this, like, wait, okay, how do I get to a calculator on my phone? There's a calculator. There it is. Okay, so it's 20 times 20 times 20 times 20 times 20. That's like wait, is that? No, it's 1 in 5. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
It's 5 times 5 times 5. I'm like, that's not right. So that's like a 1 in 3,100 chance
Yeah.
of happening. So like one person winning 5 games of Uno in a row. If that was 100% luck,
Right.
which is probably 50%.
There's a little
luck,
bit of
but
strat
still.
there.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway from this question is that you're really good at board games, Jeff.
Well, Uno is not a board game.
Yeah, technically a card game.
There's no board.
Yeah.
Yeah, astute Uno players will recognize there's no physical board in front of them.
Have you ever played Code Names?
I have.
I'm a big fan of code names.
Yeah. See, you're a great communicator, so I think you'd be good at that.
I am. I often win code names because I love. It's just like a thing I'm good at. I'm like I can get this across. Yeah.
Are you good at Pictionary?
I'm chaotic at Pictionary. I do not make it easy. I'm not good at Pictionary. No.
Yeah, I cannot draw.
No. I haven't played Pictionary in a while, but
did I ever tell you the time that Jared and I were on a team? It wasn't Pictionary, but it was the same concept, but it was this like weird like French version or something, and it was just like really specific thing.
Yeah.
So there was celebrities. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but Jared and I have like this weird like mental thing where we think like the exact same way.
yeah.
So the thing you were supposed to draw because of this weird game was the celebrity Michelle Pfeiffer.
And did you guys get it?
Yes, and here is how. I had to draw, and I drew a seashell, and then a piper, like a person playing a flute leading rats. And it was like Jared was like Shell Piper, Michelle Pfeiffer.
That is insane. That's like
Yeah,
you guys should compete professionally at that level.
yeah. Except for that, we cannot draw.
No.
So that was
But you
the
get
big
down to the
issue.
basic essentials that you can
Yeah.
communicate.
Mhm.
Piper, Pfeiffer. Seashell Piper. That's
Yeah.
funny. Great. Well, we have time for one more question. And
That's perfect. That's the only amount I wanted to answer.
we get asked this kind of often, I feel like, but this one comes from, let me get this name, SciHots9292. And it's who's your favorite film-related YouTuber and non-film-related YouTuber? You can't say each other. Now that
Well, you weren't gonna say me.
I was.
anyways.
It's not true. Let me think. I non-film related. I've gotten really into Tom Scott as of recent. He has really amazing videos. And I think anyone who knows about Tom Scott would agree. He's like one of the best YouTubers.
Oh, I do know. Yeah,
He's-
it's like very good
Yeah.
factual documentaries. It's such a weird style for
Yeah.
YouTube because it's like something you would have seen on PBS.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm in this field. And yeah, it's great.
yeah. Like the one about the guy who invented the microwave.
Yep, that one's amazing. Yeah. There's this YouTuber I recently found. He's Australian, and his name is Bo Miles. And he does a lot of like outdoorsy kind of living off the grid videos. He did this one where he walked to work, and it was like, I forget how much it was. It was like 85 kilometers or something. He's like, I walked 85 kilometers to work, 90 kilometers. And it's a fascinating video. He's like, his stuff is like super high quality. But film related, if this counts, I really like Joel Haver. He does like film related skits and sketches, and they're not film related, but like he's a film guy. And I love Joel's videos. He's really funny.
Yeah. I don't watch film YouTubers.
Yeah.
I watch some like tech YouTubers that sometimes do film
Yeah.
tech,
MKBHD.
but I do not think that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also great.
So I do watch like tech YouTubers just because like their presentation is so good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Intercut.
Hey, that counts.
Our
pod friends
'cause
Intercut.
I do not watch any of them, but I am on that sometimes.
Yeah,
So
they're good people.
yeah, they're both very nice.
Yeah.
But in terms of like regular YouTubers, yeah, I have a few. So obviously, Summoning Salt, everyone knows. It's great, like speedrunning stuff. My brother, Formula Bone, if you like F1,
Is he
check
still
that
doing
out.
Formula Bone?
Oh, he's dude, he's up to like 19,000 subscribers.
Dude, good for him. There's a niche audience for everybody.
Yeah. Formula One in Europe is not niche. It's like
niche.
one of the most popular sports.
That's crazy.
Let's see what else we got. I'm sure. Okay. Oh, Foolish Baseball. If you like baseball, Foolish Baseball is like excellent. It's usually like sabermetrics, but it's done in a like kind of comedy way.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we've talked about this person. I'm just gonna bring it up again because we both love them. GeoWizard.
Yes. Oh my God. Wait. Oh, that was so smart. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't mention GeoWizard. He is probably one of the best YouTubers.
Yeah, it's funny because you see the most recent video about like finding the location in a painting.
No, I saw the thumbnail, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's
not
okay.
good.
I won't say anything. No, the thing is like it's fun to watch, but like it's so unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Because he does not find it. So I would honestly tell you don't watch it. But usually they're really good.
Yeah.
I want to save you time. It's 25 minutes long. And he did not find it at all.
Good to know.
And like near the end of it, he's like, "Yeah, I probably won't upload this," and he did upload it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I would be mad if I went into it knowing he didn't find it.
Yeah,
but it was, it was a ride.
Nice. Well, there's one other film YouTuber or duo that I really like, and this is a good segue into our wrap up right now.
Yeah.
They are the Oscar experts. I think he just goes by the Oscar expert. But they're going to be on the pod next week. I don't think we're going to talk about any particular movie. We're just going to kind of talk about...
We're going to talk about all the
movies at the Oscars. Like we'll talk about the Oscars because that's what they do best. They're really good at analyzing them, but...
Like Oscar Isaac.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch, the one in the trash
We should
can.
ask them about their favorite actual Oscar. If they're so-called experts.
They'll be like, you mean like best picture? And I'm like, do you mean like best movie?
You mean like best Grouch? Yeah. I am very excited about it. We're also just going to like talk to them and like just get to know them. They are
just hang
good
out.
guys. And they're twins, which is first twins on the podcast, which is cool. Next, we like to announce. Well, I guess that's that.
Oh, I do have one last YouTube channel to plug.
Okay.
Because I'm just curious if you also watch Ashens.
What?
It's this British guy who's been doing YouTube for like 15 years, and he just does like the weirdest videos where he just buys random products and puts them on a brown like chair and films them and talks about them.
Hey, that sounds like a good time. Wait, did you?
Oh no, they also have like 1.5 million subscribers.
Wow, that is so.
Yeah, they just did a technology special where they buy cheap technology from Poundland, which is like a dollar store in the UK.
How do you spell the channel? Ashen?
Ashens. It is like the most comforting thing to watch possible.
Wow. Ashens. Yeah. This looks amazing.
Oh, it's great. Also, there's a whole series where Ashens, this is where I got the idea for the old Coke
I was
thing.
going to say, I think you brought them up when you did the old Coke.
Yeah.
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 Damn.
Yeah, because they would, like, there's a video from a month ago where Ashens drank 87-year-old Jubilee Ale.
Damn. Well, I'll check out we'll try and get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll get Ashens on the podcast.
Great. This next part is we like to read a review because
I mean, Ashens also I think did like actual movies, like has made movies. So maybe we'll have to try to get Ashens on to talk about.
I'm sure we can get in touch. My people will talk to his people.
Anyways, well, yeah, you have a lot of people.
Chartable. These come from Chartable and Apple Podcasts. And this first one comes from CJ from the United States of America. Subject line is just caught up and I love it. 5 stars. And it reads, Karsten, I control you. I am a puppet dancing for the people. I am at the mercy of this reviewer. They have complete power over me. Maybe I'll end the podcast right now. How about that, Jeff? Catch you on the flip side. We're not going to do that. Not ending the podcast. But thank you, CJ for the 5 stars and for catching up with the podcast. I love it when people are like, I'm starting from episode 1 and going all the way up. I'm like, that's
I know.
fucking insane.
That
It's
is
a
crazy.
lot of episodes, but
Yeah.
much love to
Yeah,
anyone.
we don't advise that.
No, but if you do it,
But we
we'd love
appreciate
to
it.
know about it.
Yeah.
Talk about your journey. Lastly, we want to thank the patrons over at patreon.com/Carscast. The best place to go if you are a diehard Carscast fan, a Jeff head.
At least as of right now, we have talked about the whole Wait, is it a Discord we might do?
So,
Or...
Jeff, I don't know when the last time is you went, well, 2 places, to the subreddit and also to
Yeah.
your Licorice Pizza review comment section.
Oh, it's been a little
Someone
bit.
set up a Jeff Discord server
Wait,
just
what?
for you. I heard about this in the subreddit and then checked the comment section. And yeah, someone was like, wouldn't it be funny if we had a Jeff Discord server? And then someone in the comment section of the Licorice Pizza review made one. And I have not visited the server, honestly, out of fear. I don't know if I'm ready to jump in there, but I just thought I would make you aware that there's a whole Discord server dedicated to you.
I did not know that. Should I go to
I think
it?
you should. I mean, not now, but I think you should
No, not like on the
report
podcast, but
back.
I guess
And I don't know what the move is here in your position.
yeah,
I don't know
I'm
if
like
I
a
would.
little bit frightened.
I think it's just a community of people that
Yeah, I'm sure. You
admire
know what?
Jeff.
Honestly, I'm gonna go to it because
Pop in,
the
yeah.
The letterbox like comment section was very wholesome. It seemed like a lot of people were making some friends.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go.
someone in the subreddit was like the Jeff or the comment section reached its full potential. We've made a Discord server off of it, which is insane. But I would say the Carscast Patreon is a better place to go if you want to support the podcast.
It's more useful.
It's
to
more
us,
useful
for
to us,
sure.
and honestly, maybe more useful to you. You get monthly Zoom hangouts where you actually get to talk to Jeff if you're that big of a Jeff
and
head.
Karsten, which most people would say is a
Well,
bigger perk than
I don't know
talking to
about
me.
that. You get exclusive bonus episodes twice a month. We're going to be busting those out pretty soon here by the end of February. Be out on the lookout.
Where we answer more questions
More
that you
questions.
can ask us. And we play some GeoGuessr.
And we play GeoGuessr. You also get your name shouted out at the end of every episode.
Which Carson's about to do. You'll see
I'm
how
about
it
to do
works.
it.
Karsten has some crazy flow when
Yep.
he does it.
And I'm going to do it right now. Thank you, Alex Thomas and Anson. Let me start over.
Okay, that was terrible.
Sorry, I choked.
That was actually the
That was
worst you've ever done.
Alex Thomas. Bleh. See, now it's Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Blake Root, Boat, Camilla, Coop, David Sir, Eden, Finn Richardson, Gavin Gibson, Goodnight Tail, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, Jaden Easton, John Van Hout, Judith, Katie T. Let's change the Google search results for PTA, Liv Rob, Lul Hadi, Luke Warm, Maddie Robertson, Martin Deff, Mary Lee Borslow, Meridian, Monopoly Shrimp on the Barbie, Monroe Page, Nathan Worley, Nora B, Owen Felton, Riley Ost, Sean Kenny Hopes, That Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus Plays in Dirtbag, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Super Kelly Fragilistic Expialidocious, Smitty Werben, Jagerman Jensen, Taylor, aka What Would You Do If When You Okay So He Said Yes Would Go, The Raccoon from Airbud, Seventh Inning Fetch, Tom Likes Beans, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Xavier Faucier, Yusef A. Zoinks, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Ooh,
You made it that time.
I
That was a much better
barely
run.
stuck the landing. But on that note, I'll take this time to plug that if any of you live in Eau Claire, once again, you should consider getting tickets to the third shorts program at Midwest Weird Fest, where Dirtbag will be playing. I'm going to be there, and my grandma's going to be there if you want to meet my grandma.
I mean,
it's
honestly,
like a good time, right?
that sounds great.
Yeah,
If I was there, I
you
would
would go. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Dirtbag. It's good.
Thanks, Jeff.
I like it. You'll like it too if you go to Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
I'm nervous, to be honest. This will be the first time I watch it
I've
in
like
a
seen a
theater.
film in a theater. Yeah.
It played in a theater in Montana, and the person at the festival was like, "Hey, it went really well. People laughed a lot. People really liked it." And I was like, "I don't trust you, but thank you." I don't believe it.
Yeah. No, it's wild to see your film in a theater.
This will be the first time. I'm extremely nervous.
Because Yeah, I had that at like the music box.
Yeah, that's an even
yeah,
bigger.
dude, it's crazy.
I think at the end of Dirtbags Festival run, I'm gonna do the thing and rent out the small theater at Music Box and just send out a post and see who wants to show up to watch Dirtbag at Music Box.
Yeah, you can also like split the cost with some other people and
that
have
would be
their thing play as well.
And that would be a good time.
Because also it'd be kind of weird
Just
to
a
have everyone
short
show
film.
up for like a 15-minute film.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, is it worth for a for a short film?
No, if you like, make that the like headline, and
Yeah.
then you just have like maybe 3 or 4 other people have their short films play.
Play Long Toast.
That'd be a fun
on
time.
loop.
Play Long Toast. Yeah, that's Long Toast. You play that 8 times, and then you
Yeah.
let someone else play one,
Yep.
and then you play Long Toast a few more
Yep.
times.
All right. Thank you guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, this. You know what, Karsten? I feel like we've said all we need to say.
Yeah. I think we're.
Did we do all the parts of the podcast?
Yeah, we did do all the parts of the podcast.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have anything else to say?
Catch you on the flip side, Karsten Run.
Catch you on the-
and everyone out there at home and in your car and walking a dog.
Flip side, Jeff.